lot to women in the therapeutic environment. In fact, Women's Therapy Centre has now been in existence for 37 years, so a very long time. And one of our key things is that we work in partnership with other organisations across London. And I think this is very important, especially in the current climate, that we know what our expertise are, that we don't try and cover everything, and that we look for other partners that can provide that expertise and then work in partnership to deliver an amazing program like we just heard about. And also, and also thanks to funders who have got the faith, is actually testing. It's a testing bed to see what works and doesn't work. Some things do, sometimes we have to change things, but it is amazing that in fact funders will have faith in us to do these things.
Psychotherapy is a Western type of therapy. It does not exist in our country. So the question for me was, how do I make sure the client understands the process of psychotherapy and what might happen if they do open up? So what I discovered through putting this new extended model into practice is a range of challenges that came up when I tried to apply therapy in a different culture. For example, the Albanian language, it is very rich language, but the way we communicate can be quite black and white, and is often the way we think. So for therapy to be effective, it has to be strong focus on boundaries. Albanian culture often clashes with therapy framework. For example, boundaries around time, which a lot of us will be familiar with. Also, it is an Albanian custom to greet somebody by asking them a long list of questions about their well-being, about themselves, about the family. So I can see all the Albanians are laughing. The role of the therapist required a different type of relationship. As one client said to me on her first session, she said to me, I have seen a psychologist before, but I can't help thinking that you're my friend or my sister. It's just I can't get the way around it. That didn't last very long, so it moved on. So also, as it was mentioned before by Lule, Albanians, they can have a tendency to be hyper-judgmental around issues of morality, especially where women are concerned. This can be a major block when working with women who have traumatic experiences such as domestic violence or being trafficked. Working through these issues was a big challenge for clients, for me, and for Shwartz. So I gave a lot of thought of this, how to begin working. So I decided not to be too preoccupied with particular techniques, but to remain confident, flexible, and authentic. I trusted that I would find the ways to adapt the therapy specifically to Albanian clients. This required a lot of patience and openness, not just from me, but from the clients, Shwartz program, and the Women's Therapy Centre. But I'm happy to say that the therapy has worked with Albanian clients at Shwartz. However, there isn't a magical ingredient that brings the success. It needs a consistent approach to all the challenges I mentioned. At Shwartz, the issues that I work with cover a wide range, but mainly trafficking, domestic violence, isolation, depression, extreme anxiety, and clients with a lot of psychosomatic symptoms. But also, there is a lot of issues around that are coming through with children growing up in a different culture, and the clashes that this brings with the parents. I have seen many positive changes in the women that I worked with. For example, one client who repeatedly brought dreams and nightmares in the sessions, and she was very fearful and extremely anxious about what they meant for her life. because in our culture, dreams are often seen as a prediction of things that might happen in the future. So working together and looking at the dreams in a way that reveals a lot about her own state, and that was a starting point for self-understanding and change. For example, another client who was raped hardly left her flat, and if she did, she would take a very long diversion to avoid an Albanian cafe, because if she would pass through there, that she felt that people might judge her. Towards the end of therapy, she was able to walk past the cafe without feeling that she has done anything wrong. So there are a list of examples I could give you today, but these were just like two small but powerful changes that therapy can bring. As well as these little changes, they had the confidence to start dealing with a lot of problems. They were both emotional and practical, like immigration status and housing. So based on my experience, I believe that there is a massive opportunity to make a difference by continuing to develop this model with Shwartz, but also expanding it into other refugee communities. Thank you.
Can I just do my ending? Sorry about that. Yeah, so the next thing is, what do we do next? And myself and Luli have been looking at where we go from now. And given that the model has had a very high degree of this success, we're looking at developing this in other communities, but also continuing the work within the Albanian community. And one of the things that we've looked at, given a subject that has been mentioned, is trafficked women. And so what we're planning to do is actually look at trafficked women from Eastern Europe, but also to find out what facilities there already are in London. And between us, we're sending out a survey to as many organisations as we can, so please leave your email addresses if you would like to receive the survey, so that we can look at what's there already and what we can build on, and then hopefully look for funding. I think it's very important to see what is there already, what framework is there. It's an issue that both organisations have felt really pressurised on, and also something that we really need to relook at. So so the survey will be coming out shortly and will be sent around. It's very short, so don't feel that it's only a page. So it won't take very long, but it's very important for us to gather that information. And also, we're also looking at the issues around unaccompanied minors. We work very closely with another organisation who works specifically with unaccompanied minors, and we're putting ourselves into a triangle to look at how we can move forward on that as well. And those are the sort of two issues that have come out, and this is only one meeting, so we're doing quite well. But also, we're seeking to look at other ways of partnership, because I think it's very important, especially in this current climate, that we're not precious. That, again, I think everybody has emphasised the important thing is the women and their families, and that's what we should be looking at. It doesn't matter who's providing it, as long as it's good quality and that it's joined up. And so there's lots of things in the mix, and I think it's very exciting, very challenging, but it's something that we are definitely going to move forward with. And just to say, our partnership isn't coming to an abrupt end, although the funding is tailing off, because we luckily have got some extra money to work with gender violence as well, and we will continue with Espressa in a different model, but hopefully looking at that model as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, ladies.